Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup could be an interesting one. The Panthers rank in the top 10 in total yards, and they go up against a Saints defense that believes in itself. With that, let's hand things over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 14 matchup.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Stewart is the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Saints.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's brought down. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Nick Fairley's a former #1 draft pick that when you get the best of him, you get elite play at the defensive tackle position.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He gets it to Brown, complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now Newton on first down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Here's Newton now on second down. Rolling to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. Third down here. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Malcolm Smith with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So they get the ball first here in front of the home crowd under the lights, and they get 3 points out of it.
And there's something about a night game, isn't there? A little extra snap, a little extra crisp in the air. What a terrific way to get things started. A little extra excitement, a little extra dazzle for the home crowd.
They'll start on the ground with Foster. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
They'll go again with Foster. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
First and 10, here's Breeze. His throw incomplete. Kobe Fleener, the tight end, his intended target. And it's 2nd down. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
Star Tulele is a former first-round pick who's starting to round into form, becoming one of the better run stoppers in the league.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. Finding time. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now Breeze. Over the middle, open is Thomas. These guys told us, these guys being the coaches, they wanted to really stretch the field, get the ball down deep. They were able to do that here.
And you know when you stretch the field, you often leave guys in one-on-one situations, and that allows your better athletes to go up and get the football. I love the preparation that they put into this. They made it a priority, and they got what they expected.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. DJ Foster, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. It's a gain of 20 that time. And that leads to a Carolina first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he floats one there, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Second and 10, Newton again. And his throw here's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and now it's third down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing on third down, Newton. He hops over him.
That's why you stretch.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
So second and 10 here. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, they run with Stewart. Room here to run. Touchdown, Carolina. Jonathan Stewart with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. Foster alone in the backfield. Now Breeze throwing on second down. Left side and caught by Fleener. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And there's a nice completion to Kobe Fleener, and no one can be happier than Drew Brees.
They had Jimmy Graham for all those years, Ben Watson last year, and now coming south from Indianapolis, Fleener. A first down carry for Foster. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Brees to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. Brees looking to throw on 3rd and 2. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. When Nick Fairley's on his game, he is your prototypical defensive tackle who can make disruptive plays. Great hands, really good quickness.
Wake up. Ball.
To throw on second down is Newton. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Well, it was second long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down.
That's it. 180. Gun. Look at it. 20.
3rd and long. It's Newton. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Fielded at the 43. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry. Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. Breeze now on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will knot us up at 10. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And the Panthers coming out now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Surveying the field. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the Panthers are going to get a first down.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Now Stewart on first down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So, Brandon, this is just basic football right here because we're getting right down to it. Toss sweep. So, for the offense, you're often pulling linemen to get out ahead of your blocker. And if you're the defensive guys, either you meet them with force or you get up underneath them with speed in order to try and finish off the play.
This is Stewart again. They find some open field here. And a cutback right sideline. Evades the tackler and now some space. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Silver Salinga busting through to get him for a loss of 6. On play action, now Breeze. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete. Fleener, right side. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Breeze now on first down. Left side and caught by Fleener. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down Saints. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. To throw is Breeze. He's got nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. It's a 4-receiver look, all to the left side. On third and long, it's Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And for the second time this half, on comes the field goal unit here. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And Bullock will put this one through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, they started this drive in as tough a spot as you can at their own 1, so they're able to march it into field goal range and get 3.
I thought that was a very poised, dare say classy sort of a drive. Backed up in the shadow of your own end zone, yet you come out of it and put points on the board. Well executed.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
20, like 80. Come on now,
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On second down, here's Newton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Newton on first down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin.
And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 27 yards that time. And it'll be first down, Panthers. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On first down, Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep them. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On play action, it's Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. A good pickup there, a 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Breeze to throw on second down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Now Breeze on third, and the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Stewart is the lone setback. To throw is Newton. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Muscles him off. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. In the red zone this time. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
That's it. 180. Get it.
They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Here's Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job one. A touchdown certainly would have been nice, but here you get back on even terms, and now you've got the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
This is taken about 7 yards deep, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow.
Jarvis Landry. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry, 81 yards. And the Saints have moved out in front. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
On first down, it's Newton. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. Way down to the 26. A big play there for Carolina. And even 40 yards.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, receiver won in a big way.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Newton again. Benjamin with it over the middle. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Stewart is the lone setback.
20.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Newton forced out to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Set. 180. Wake up.
Now it's Newton. Here off the boot. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Stephon Anthony in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll bring him back within 4. So make it 3 field goals for him now. And this last one tightens things up a bit.
And I know that offense is on the sideline right about now, checking out the tablets and saying, man, we let a good chance slip away there. We've got to start finishing some of these drives.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So the D-line's going to spread out.
Easy. 1 day.
They run. It's Foster. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Foster on second down. And he's got room. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. He's going to get the football. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's third down. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth. Nine yards to go. It's third down. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. From the gun on third down, Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
This is taken at the 18. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Going right side here, and that's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7. On second down, here's Newton. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
On the run, it's Foster. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Breeze to throw on second down. And Thomas has it. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. Throwing now is Breeze. Finding time. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get him to fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He'll have the win at his back here in the fourth quarter. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Every Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 18 yards on the pickup there. And the Panthers are going to get a first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it second and short. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Newton on first down. Pass incomplete. The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart, and that'll bring up second down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Set. Ready? Ready? Do so.
On second and 10, Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sheldon Rankins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On the counter, it's Foster. And he'll be taken down, losing. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down.
Ready?
On play action, now Breeze. Surveying the field. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. but they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now they're in the hurry-up. Newton on 1st down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Corey Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in the 4th. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Kill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And the defense lines up looking for one final stop.
And they will be playing for the pass in this situation, not expecting any type of a run.
Breeze going to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hey, Sammy!
They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They come out here in the eye. Newton turns and hands to Stewart. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Newton's going to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
20. Hey, do something.
They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Godot's kick is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. He's back to throw. Caught right side, Davis. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler. And now off to the races down the right side.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. The busy night continuing for Stewart. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.